First of the month, I'm a running back.
Matching hundreds. It's a coach. You're immersed in the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Carolina Panthers taking on the Oakland Raiders. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Carolina Panthers and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers are 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What works in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The first carry for Josh Adams. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
Shaq Lawson's one of those guys that after a while you quit just trying to define him by a position. Defensive end, outside linebacker, doesn't matter. He knows how to get upfield and spill some plays.
So disruptive. What makes him so disruptive?
I think it's strength. If you see his upper body, I mean, he's got some strength up there and some really good hands, but he's got some surprising quickness as well to get him upfield.
Throwing on first down is Carr. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. He was looking for Quincy Enunwa that time, but it'll be second down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Again, it's Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Brian Burns in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. Now the man from nearby Stanford, Christian McCaffrey. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. 2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 21-yard line.
Switch. Slam.
Gun. Great.
Echo.
From the gun, here's Newton. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Newton looking to throw on 3rd and 1. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Go, go, go. Tight ends on the loosey. Tight ends on the loosey. Tight ends on the loosey.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Foster Moreau, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
Come on now. Let's go.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
On 2nd and 7, Newton. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the...
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And he's able to bring it out 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
The numbers for Adams in last week's game. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
All day, baby. All day.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again here, Cam Newton marches back onto the field. Interesting stat line right now. Technically, he's completed 4 passes, 2 to his team and then 2 to the wrong team.
It makes you wonder what he's seeing downfield because he has completed 2 passes to his own team, but the interceptions are troubling. Is he going through the wrong reads, the wrong progressions? Is he getting fooled by defenses? They've got to figure that out over on the sidelines, working on that Surface Pro to see what they see.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing again. Newton. And he's got McCaffrey open. Complete. And give him 9 yards on the 2nd down screen play.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Newton throwing complete to Samuel. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Panther first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Newton throwing again. He'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
20.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. The numbers for McCaffrey last week, very, very strong, well over 100 yards.
He should get the ball early and often here, too. I mean, when you're riding the performance of last week into this game, his confidence level has to be off the charts. Go ahead and keep feeding him.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jabal Sheard in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now it's Newton. The open man is Smith. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 25-yard line. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, we talk about collective.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point try good by Gano, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On 2nd down now, it's Adams. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for Oakland. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be taken at the 13. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Christian McCaffrey and the Panthers about set to go on offense. So officially now a 1,000-yard campaign for him, but I don't think he's going to take his foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, it's just one of those thoughts.
And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find the spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Second and 5 now. Carr. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Brian Burns able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Newton. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Coverage was excellent downfield. I think he was more throwing that football away than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, because everywhere you looked, they were covered.
Sometimes it's better to go ahead and be convinced that there's no place to fit in the football than to go ahead and force it and turn it into a bad play.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance, if they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing.
And now here's another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham, but he'll take this back down inside the 20. And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the 3rd time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. If you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before that, there have been guys who've gotten 4 interceptions or more in a game. I mean, most recently, since 2000, Delta O'Neal and D'Angelo Hall.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 17.
On 2nd down, it's Adams. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple, down to the 15-yard line.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. To throw his car. Strong coverage by Carolina. And on we go to 4th down.
They tried to make something happen, but that one came up incomplete and really wasn't a good-looking throw.
Yeah, maybe even go as far as to call that a little ill-advised.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's the right phrase for it. Definitely ill-advised. Let's wonder about his mechanics right now, you know, and that's the tough part. You do so much stuff in practice to make it repetitive, but it has to repeat under pressure, whether it's pressure from the defense or just the pressure of playing the game.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the Panthers coming out now. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jabal Sheard, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Now a first down throw for Newton. It's caught by Davis. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Newton now to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the intended target, and it's third down. The Panthers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. To the air again, Newton. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games. And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. And the aggressive play call simply does not work out. You're on your own side of the field here. Punt it, right?
Yeah, I would agree with that. There's a time for analytics and a time for being aggressive, but not with this field position. There's also a time for good old football 101 sense.
Yeah.
Punt it away.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Shaq Lawson has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Here's Carr, and he'll find Moreau here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. From midfield, here's Carr. And Jeffrey's got it. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
They're going to try the jet sweep on 3rd and long. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives? So
we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. 27 yards on the game there. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. And he coughed it up, and the Raiders pick it up. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Carr throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
From the gun now on 3rd down. Carr, he's got a man. It's Williams. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
What now?
Check. Walk 54. All day.
Carr now on 1st down. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. Brian Burns. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the left hash, this from 34. Gonzalez's kick is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
And a good effort on the return there gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Here we go.
Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 42-yard line. A shotgun snap for Newton. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Great.
To throw again on second down. Newton. Wide open receiver complete. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. DJ Moore, his 11th touchdown of the year, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough. Otherwise, they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Throwing on second down. Carr. Brian Burns. My goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Now a play fake. Carr. And he's going to go down again. Brian Burns in there to get him again. That is sack number 6. One off the NFL record of 7. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the number 1 spot.
There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season. So now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal.
And my goodness, another interception. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They run on second down with Adams. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaq Lawson in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Like how they've started the 3rd quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their 2nd win coming out of the locker room. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And that will come the offense as they take over. Quick update from Levi's Stadium. And not much trouble for the 49ers in that one. They open the lead a bit further. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. 22 yards there, a 1st down. Newton now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a Carolina first down on a gain of 16.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now on 2nd and 13. Newton, that's going to be caught by Samuel. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Newton to throw. Completes it to Samuel. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Throwing is Newton. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Newton. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the 2nd level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back. I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he...
And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. Tyrell Williams was the intended target. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Newton. And this one complete to Smith. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Newton looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. Back now in the East Bay. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaq Lawson racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaq Lawson, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Carolina getting set to take the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. A gain of 6 there on first. Throwing again on 2nd down. Newton, and this one's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way. For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll run it here with Adams. There he goes, left side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Adams, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And once again, the Raiders are back out in front. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And that gives them a 3-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Getting set to go again here, Cam Newton marches back onto the field. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. I mean, we could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. Yeah, they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Now Newton on first down. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Newton. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Here's Newton. Complete. Smith has it. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down.
20.
Newton throwing again. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Throwing on third down, Newton. Well, this is how, and they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, bringing the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
A fourth quarter miss like that, there is no lonelier feeling than that kicker right now.
As we all know, a lot of these games, they come down to special teams. And when that chance comes, you have to perform in order to help your team get over the top.
Could have tied it. Instead, they remain down 3. And there on the tackle, Shaq Lawson.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around a training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On first down, this is Adams. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd and 12, Carr. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. So 2 disastrous running plays, and now they face a 3rd and very long. On the delay, it's Kelly. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. So now Newton and the Panthers down 23-20, a minute 37 remaining. And their 4-game winning streak in great danger.
Back to you. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Now it's Newton. Complete to Washington.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Back to throw. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Panther first down. Back to throw. He's got Smith here. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. He's back to throw. It's caught. Smith. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Washington now out of the gun. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Here we go. Here we go. 180. Gun, gun, gun.
From the 50, Newton. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard. Knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very